Hey yo, the video that sparked all that hate and controversy is out now. Make sure you go to Talib Kweli YouTube page and check it out. Leave some comments. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the video link in the comment section. Make sure you rep that Slim Blunt gang, that Gen Pop gang, and everything else. Hey yo man, shout out to the bro Can Do 718. Shout out to Us Plus One. Shout out to the bro Popcorn, the bro 5. Shout out to the whole Williamsburg projects. You heard a few from Williamsburg projects out there. Get in them comments. Let me know what block you from. You heard? If you from Brooklyn out there, leave some comments. Let me know what strip, what Ave, what block, what projects, what street, what boulevard you out there repping. You heard Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man. Make sure y'all check this video. This is the AI video for the new joint with me and Can Do. You heard? It's called The Hustle Never Stop. This is the AI video. But the real official video is in the works. By the time you see this, that even might be out there. You heard? So make sure you type in Can Do featuring Saint Laz, The Hustle Never Stop, on all streaming platforms and YouTube. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. These bars is back in action. You heard? Type my name in on Spotify and all streaming platforms. st.laz. Get that music. It's out there.
The smallest of an issue is the tallest of an issue inside prison, because it ain't nothing to do, man. And everybody got they, attitude, askew from left to center. Nobody looking at the same aim. You understand what I'm saying? Because we all in there divided, whether it be by misery, rage, mental health issues, whatever. It keeps us in there together, but then it also keeps us divided. And then everybody is on the edge. Yo, let me get a rag or something. You got rags? Let me get a rag, though. You ain't got washcloth? I need washcloth. See how I'm sweating, right, huh? I wish I could sweat like that when I was up north and they was doing urinalysis. I would have never got knocked for dirty, homie. Man, what's up, yo? I couldn't make it to this video shoot. My air conditioning killed my battery, man. You hear me?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm on the phone with Saint Laz right now, man. You know what I mean? We about to do a little spill right now.
Yeah, your shit. I see your shit.
You see my shit, huh?
That nigga white.
Laz right here.
Right here. Stop personalizing jokes.
Nah, yo, Laz, homie.
Make a nigga back.
Yeah,
Don't
that's shit,
personalize
nigga.
it, all that other shit.
Yeah.
I fuck with Laz. I like his
right.
I like his
That's
content.
right.
But that one he went too far.
Yo, Posse, what's up, boy? Yo, what's up, homie? Yo, what's up? I love you too, cuz. That's a fact. I'm gonna walk over there and see Chatty and them real fast. They over there?
I think they probably down here, right?
Yeah, I think they over there. Yo, Laz, as soon as I walk out this store, we gonna do it, man.
Yeah, cause I see your shit get stepping up. Your shit
Yo,
getting up.
your shit is too, boy. This side, come on, this is our legacy, nigga. Yo, and so that's the new car or that's the replacement? Nigga in the Porsche. Look at it. My cousin. You know, these niggas came up when I was gone. I come home, these niggas just pushing Porsches, man. Shit is crazy, man. But yeah, though, man, like I was saying, I was up top, man, and I met the kid, Gotti with the shotty, man. I forgot his real name, man, but he emphasized and made sure that I knew who he was, that he was Gotti with the shotty. And so, throughout, the course of me vibing with the dude, we in prison. And, prison, again, like I was saying, is a microcosm of a macrocosm of the society. And so, we all around each other. And so people know each other business. So I did a little inquiry about the dude. And it came up what it was supposed to be. Boy was who he said he was. So now when I find out who the kid is, I'm like, all right, cool. This Gotti with the shotty, boy official. He was up north for like 50 years to life. I'm like, all right, cool, boy official. So now he hear through the grapevine that I'm good with poetry, that I'm good with writing poetry and shit. So you know, I used to be in the prison yard up top, man. You know, the most incorrigible, so they say, and the hard-hearted of you know, the hard-hearted used to come out and buy poems from me, literally, man. I used to get in the beef over my poems, which I'm about to explain in this situation right here, because sometimes I would make a commitment to write poems for people, and then some things might come up. You understand what I'm saying? Like I might get into some shit, or you know, I might not get a visit, and my, you know, temperament is different, or you know what I mean, I might have just had a fucked up phone call. I might have just lost some money on a bet, because I used to gamble crazy in prison, man, you know. And then when I was gambling, you know what I mean, like 15, 20 packs at a time, man. Like, you know, I had it bad when I was gambling, but I stayed more winning than losing, so I ain't give a fuck. But you know, I used to get into a lot of, you know what I mean, disagreements because of the commitment. Yo, yo, you told me you was gonna do it, yo, get the fuck. And then the shit goes somewhere. So it sort of went like that with Boy. Boy had a sister that lived in Boston, Massachusetts, but they from here. They from Brownville, and they from downtown Brooklyn. And so he had a sister, and she had got caught up in the credit card ring, man. I'm talking about official. I researched it when I was in there and everything. When they busted her, she had like 500,000 worth of counterfeiting paraphernalia and equipment that she would use to, you know, make cards and, you know, counterfeit money. Yo, she was like a queen. I'm thinking that if you can Google around the year that it happened, and I met this kid around 2005, so the sister situation was still present. It probably was like 2003. What up, Sheik? And you can Google it, man. And she was in Boston, Massachusetts, man. And she was like some credit card scam queen. But anyway, she had wrote a book. And so in writing this book, she needed a foreword, and she wanted her brother to write the foreword for her. You know, he up north doing 55 years of life. You understand what I'm saying? Uncle Jack, what's happening, man? I see you. And so he doing 50 years of life. And so she wanted her brother to write the foreword. So he explaining this to me. You know, I met him through my crime. He from Fort Greene, Brooklyn. Another dude that was up north with us named Ratchet. You know what I mean? They call him Sapo out here. Shout out to the boy Sapo, because he definitely put on when we was up top. But anyway, you know, everything was solidified. Sapo told me he was the people and everything. And I told him, I said, yo, I'm going to write the poem. Give me a little bit of intel on, you know, what you want me to say about your sister. So he tell me, you know, she was fucking with a nigga and they was getting money, you know what I mean? And, you know, the dude got jealous of her, man, and he tried to line her. You know what I'm talking about? And some shit happened, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. And it fucked up their energy. She ended up getting locked up. Dude left her with the bag. And that was that. So when he gave me the information, man, I put that shit in the composition labs, man, like none other, bro. I'm talking about, I used all the techniques with it. I used rhyme, I used metaphor, I used simile, I used all, and then it was like a prologue. It literally was like, what's up, boy? I'm on an interview right now. It literally was like, you know, a composition. It was like an analogy, because some parts of it were, you know, would be in rhyme, and then in other parts of it would be, you know, just in off rhyme, and then the other parts would be like a short story. And it was maybe a page and a half long. So if it was a page and a half long, I'm surmising that it may have been 250 words. I surmise, because I write poetry and I usually restrict myself to 18 lines, 90 words. You know, having the skill is being able to say as much with the least amount of words that you have to grab on to impart whatever it is you're trying to create. So I created it, man, and I put it together. So when I put it together, I put it to the side. You know, I ain't see the dude for a while. You know what I mean? He had some MHU issues or whatever the case may be. So sometimes they used to snatch him up and throw him in the Barney Rubble suit, keep him for 3 days. We don't see him. Then I ended up going to Honor Block. This is where the conflict began. When I went to Honor Block has the option to go out with general population, both sides, any side, every side. But shit, I'm in Honor Block. I'm not going out with no side. I'm in Honor Block chilling. I got my feet kicked up. I'm watching color TV on the inside. I'm staying out till 11 o'clock at night, and we in Comstock. So for this to be going on in Comstock, you already know that shit is a privilege that many just don't enjoy. But Honor Block is dangerous, because you got all the killers in Honor Block now. Now you got all the dudes who got 30 years in that got jailhouse bodies, and they chilling now, and they in Honor Block. So it really ain't no need for us to go back to general population. So when I wasn't going to general population, boy must have got, twisted in his mind that, I was on some honor block shit now, like I'm high and then I don't want to come out and I don't want to intermingle with the general population. And so when he put that word up in the air, shit got back to me, homie. You understand what I'm saying? So now when the shit get back to me, I immediately go to Sapo. I go to Ratchet and go, yo, what's up with your boy? Like, this a poem. You understand what I'm saying? This nigga acting corny over a fucking poem. He like, nah, it ain't, but he really need the poem. The sister got to get the book out at a certain time, this, that, and the third, rah, rah, rah. I'm like, I understand that, but even still, he could have kept all that other shit to himself. Check it. Ratchet like, you just trying to start some shit. So we leave it. I see the dude in the mess hall. When I see him in the mess hall, he got the Gucci frames on, little short dude and shit. He definitely wasn't no punk. And this story ain't about that. You understand what I'm saying? This story is about, you know what I mean? Not, making the commitment that you can't carry, but then also exercising consideration when you fucking with somebody. But let me get back to what I'm saying. So when I seen him in the mess hall and he gave me the ice grill, I'm like, yo, boys, cut that out, rah, rah, rah. So we getting some words, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. I get back. We come out to the yard. Boy, don't come out. So I tell Ratchet, yo, listen, homie, Tank, what you doing? You in honor block. I said, yeah, I came outside tonight because I wanted to see Gotti with the shotty. I want to see Gotti with the shotty. Because the nigga, like, acting like he got an issue with me. Like, yo, Tank, I said, no. Homie, I brought it to you in the beginning. You ain't rectified accordingly. So now, let your man know I'm going to get him put down on a call out to come to the grievance. And when we go down to the grievance, me and him could hug each other like we could get right, like rough sex is in the air. Hold on for 1 second. Aunt Penny, you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, yo, when I see the dude, we can, hey, Aunt Penny, what's up? You all right? All right, I just want to give you a camera. How you doing? You okay? Okay. All right, let me help my aunt real fast. You know I'm in Fort Greene. I don't live down here no more, but when I come down, I always got to come see my people. I tell them, I say, I'm going to put them on the call out. We going to go up to the call out. We just going to shake out like two men. We ain't coming with no weapons, no nothing. We got a disagreement. We going to shake out like two men. She like, all right, cool, Tank. I'm going to put them on the call out. Whatever the case, long story short, man, dude come upstairs, but when he come upstairs, he want to talk. You understand what I'm saying? And my whole thing is this. I ain't taking nothing away from Gotti with the shotty. You understand what I'm saying? But at that point, you know what I mean? And to the extent that he pushed it, it wasn't really nothing to talk about. Love you, Aunt Penny. All right? You all ready? You have a great day, all right? Okay. Okay, and so now my whole thing to him was this. Because we people, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because we people, we don't get caught up in the infamy of who we are. Because once we do, then now we become bigger than the movement. The movement was we pledge allegiance to, a warped street code, man, that we thought, were the stepping stones toward officiating us into becoming gangsters. Street gangsters and then jail gangsters and then gangsters regardless. And so my whole thing to him was, if and when we fuck with each other, you must exercise consideration. It wasn't that I just pushed you to the side over no poem and I didn't want to do it because I was charging him cheap for it. He wanted the poem and I usually charge dudes, a poem was like a pouch or 5 stamps or you get 3-4 pack of cigarettes. It was different schemes that I had. So it wasn't about the money. I had crazy cigarettes. It wasn't about the money. It was about him putting something in the air that he really couldn't hold. You understand what I'm saying? In prison, we don't care about who your name is or what your reputation is because you in prison with a bunch of motherfuckers who got reputations and was the bad guy in their neighborhood too. You understand what I'm saying? So don't nobody care about that. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if we gonna be who we say we are, and this is what I was trying to convey to him, and he jacked it. Gotti with the shotty, man. Boy ended up becoming cool, you know what I mean? But he jacked it. But at the end of the day, what it was this. Because we fuck with each other through ratchet, we must exercise consideration. We must exercise good judgment. Because then to transgress that, we saying fuck the dude who introduced us. You understand what I'm saying? And the concept of being a G, stand up in any regard, that's not the way we tread. You understand what I'm saying? And so, I got boy, you know what I mean, to see it for what it was. You understand what I'm saying? He jacked it because it was what it was. You understand? And me and him ended up becoming cool after that, man. You understand what I'm saying? The boy still got forever and a day up top. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that he get home soon, man. You know, I ever get in touch with him. I got a few dollars for him. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know what it means to be inside that struggle, man. You understand what I'm saying, man? But those type of situations happen, you know, oft in prison, where we talking about a poem and cigarettes and a commitment, and next thing you know, somebody could lose their life. You know, somebody could lose their life over a misunderstanding, a disagreement over what the society would consider some petty shit. You know, but in prison, man, the most smallest is like the most tallest in there, man. You know what I mean? And so what I mean by that, the smallest of an issue is the tallest of an issue inside prison, because it ain't nothing to do, man. And everybody got their, you know, attitude, you know, askew from left to center. Nobody looking at the same aim. You understand what I'm saying? Because we all in there divided, you know, whether it be by misery, rage, you know, mental health issues, whatever. You know, it keeps us in there together, but then it also keeps us divided, and then everybody is on the edge. And so being able to get through that, man, because I'm here, I'm telling you this story here right inside my projects. I'm right here on the island in Fort Greene. Anybody know about the island? This is where I'm from. You understand? Saying I'm talking right now, a bunch of my childhood friends, and because of my ability to have been able to, you know, maneuver my way through the penitentiary the way that I was able to, is the reason why I'm here right now today, living this testament to redemption, my brother. Wow.
Yes, you said when you did see son, like y'all both was able to talk that out without incident?
Yeah, I mean, you know, because like I said, I had the ability, like, you know how it is in prison, lads. Like, we in the loop. So fuck all that popping off when we see each other catching a ticket. Nah, nigga, I'm at Honor Block. So in Honor Block, the niggas that got all the best jobs is in the prison are housed in my location. My man over there, he run the grievance office. So our thing was, when a nigga got an issue, two dudes got an issue, and they the home team, and they can't, you know, reason can't fly through words. And come on, y'all come on up here and, you know, get some rough sex going. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all come on up here however y'all want to do it. Y'all want to do it with the hands. Y'all gonna go gun to gun. If you go gun to gun, the agreement is nobody can go to the clinic. So you gotta hold that down. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I've never been in a situation or seen a situation where a dude got killed, but I seen a situation where a dude got hit bad and he held it down. You understand what I'm saying? And so when me and Gotti came up there, it was free reign right there. You understand what I'm saying? We could have shook out with the hands or whatever the case may be, but you know, I guess a cooler head prevailed. You understand what I'm saying? Because when he came to me and he wanted to speak, I was humble and I listened to what he had to say. You know what I mean? And his thing was, yo, he was against the deadline. And my thing back to him was, yo, through all the movement, remember, I got moved to Honor Block. You understand what I'm saying? He was going in and out of MHU. So, like, I'm not walking around with a page and a half inside my pocket, because especially at that time, Comstock was locking niggas up for fucking rhymes, for poems, for fucking motions to the court, and say that it was gang activity or gang paraphernalia, and would put us, you know, on keep lock or in solitary confinement for that. So I definitely wasn't walking around with a page and a half in my pocket about some scam queen from Boston. They definitely would have thought I had a gang letter. You understand what I'm saying? So when me and him did see each other, like I said on the call out, his thing was like, yo, Tank, I mean, he had his glasses off and shit, because, you know, Shorty always wore the Gucci frames, man. And he had his glasses off, so he probably was ready to fight. You understand? Saying, like, I ain't gonna let this nigga Tank have still on me, or whatever the case may be, you know, but he came up there. And I like that because it showed courage, it showed confidence. So I'm scared of a motherfucker that's scared of me. It always been like that with me, because if you know me, you ain't got no reason to be scared of me. If we gotta handle something, we gonna get to it. That's just what it is. I ain't invisible. You know, I took as I gave. You understand what I'm saying? And I gave as I received. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I seen the boy, it wasn't none of that type of smoke. But at the same time, I come first before any and everybody. And if you can't jack that, then you ain't jacking me, homie. You know what I mean? We put it to the side, and I ended up giving him the poem just on the arm, because after going through all that, man, I couldn't price it my way, because I put a lot of fucking sentiment and the emotion that went behind his nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? But because I'm a G and I stand on everything that I am, he had to get that on principle, because we went through that. You understand what I'm saying? And that ended up becoming a thing that ended up making us a little bit more understanding and considerate for each other. I ain't gonna say he ended up becoming my man 50 grand, because I ain't had no man 50 grands in the penitentiary. Just like how I was out here inside the society, a lone wolf, I was the same way in there. Yeah, I had allegiances across the board, just as I do in the street. You know, niggas over there ain't gonna know what I'm over here doing no more than niggas over here gonna know what I was over there doing. It got to be that way. You understand why I'm a little nigga, homie, and my strength come from my imagination. You understand what I'm talking about? And so, yeah, me and Gotti, we good after that, man. Like I said, he's still up top, you know. He had got jammed up in Brownsville. You know, he said he used to be with another one that was in big songs, Pop from the Barbershop. I don't know these brothers. I don't have no ill will to say against these kids. I heard about them back in the days when we was coming up in the 90s out here in the street, actually through big music. That's how I heard of them. And like I said, when I went and did my reconnaissance, you know what I mean? I went and, you know, sift through the grapevine for information. They confirmed that boy who he was. And, you know, that's how me and him ended up becoming okay, my brother. Well, you know, I hope he ain't in that MHU shit, though, no. That fucking MHU shit crazy, man. Let me get some reefer, brother. Hold up, my boy Ronnie, man. But yeah, kid, you know what I'm talking about. When niggas talking about it wasn't safe to roam, I gave this interview when I was right back home. We right here on the island. What's up, lads? Keep it going, man. What's up, man? Where you want to go, man? Where you want to go, huh?
Hey yo, the video that sparked all that hate and controversy is out now. Make sure you go to Talib Kweli YouTube page and check it out. Leave some comments.